Let's go for one more chat with an expert. Today we'll talk to Nuno from Portugal. He is an expert in sports industry. Let me see, he's online. That's good, he's right here. All right, Nuno, are you there? Oh, that's great. How are you doing?
Good, and you, Luis? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for your time. And
Thank you very much.
Nuno is a business development in Portugal, Spain, and Latin America for Sports Alliance. Nuno, feel free to make a short introduction about your professional background.
Okay, so I've been working with Sports Alliance for around 4 years. We basically work with sports organizations, helping and cooperating with them to enhance their data-driven marketing and commercial strategies. So we use data from the sports organizations to help them improve their performance. Previously, I worked in sports for the last 10 years, smaller and bigger projects. I have also a background in telcos, so I worked for around 16 years in Portugal Telecom in Portugal. But the last 4 I've been working with Sports Alliance alongside other small projects I did along the road.
I see. So how is the sports industry in your perspective right now? What's going on? And what do you see, how do you foresee in the coming months this whole situation that's going on?
Well, it's clear for everybody that this is a unique and particular time, for good and bad reasons. Of course, everybody around the world is suffering some impact of what's happening, and the times are, at least to say, challenging. I see the future with in a good perspective. Of course, there will be trouble to pass it. Financial is the most relevant right now. Because there's no cash flow, there's no events, there's no money flowing, so the money will be stopped and stuck in the places where it is right now. But I see it as an industry shaker and an industry transformer, and being specific in sports, because the time of doing as we did until yesterday or until 3 weeks ago, it's over, basically. We need to change the way we work. The example is how fast we started to use video calls, Zoom, Skypes, Teams, whatever. And a month ago, most of the people preferred to do a meeting. I see it as an opportunity in the good sense, and perhaps people don't like to use the term opportunity, but I see it as an opportunity to change some processes, some methodologies that we use in sports. Being more specific in the areas that I work with, data, marketing, and commercial performance, I see it that is, and as Sports Alliance passed before in other crises, 2008, 2009, 11, 12, more particular here in Europe. What we saw is that after this crisis, the ones that were more prepared and did their job and structured the plan passed it with a much more positive result. So they passed it good as possible, but afterwards the performance were much better. So I see it in a positive perspective, because the things will have to change. In speaking a little bit about sports properties, most of them still don't use relevant data to engage with the fans, with the clients, with the sponsors, and the industry has changed. Brands now demand data, brands now demand reports. What is required is how can they reduce the cost of activation and get bigger impact and bigger information of their campaigns. Fans are more demanding. They want to have privileges. They want to be part of a real community, a known community. And of course, data in the properties will have a very good, a very relevant paper in this process. So I think it's the time to, and I've been seeing this in my last few weeks. Most of the projects that were stuck or for some reason postponed, they are now they have now started to develop, because people have now more time. They are thinking about the future, and they are starting to prepare the future with new ways of working.
I see. So let's talk about fan experience. Some teams, some athletes, some agencies are seeing this time that we're passing through as an opportunity to get closer to the fans, do not just activation the brands, but doing good stuff, good behavior that will make the activation. Like the first thing is the humanity, help, support, doing how, like what and how they can do based on their possibilities. And doing this, they are building a good image, a good branding with the fans. How do you see it? Those teams or athletes are. This is not proposal. I'm not going to help to make my brand more positive. I think it's more human. And make your brand more human. It's a natural consequence. How do you see it?
Yeah, it's another way to create the bond right now. It's a way to connect. When you have an event or a match, it's easier for you to create that relation, because you have a scheduled match, you have training, you have several activities that are before and after the match that are more or less known. Right now, you don't have it, so you need to really get close of the people. And as you mentioned, sports clubs and properties are effectively getting closer to the people, becoming more human. Unconsciously, of course, there's a little bit of business around it, but it's not the relevant point, to be honest. I don't think it's the relevant point. Nobody at this time really thinks about business when they do that kind of connection. I think it's really to engage in a positive way with their community, with their fans. Brands also have a relevant part here and a relevant role here. As for instance, they have a great opportunity to be known and to engage without spending money, just by saying, okay, we are here, we are supporting you, we'll keep supporting the clubs, your community, whatever it is, without spending any cash. And what we have been seeing in the last weeks is very good examples of that. But on the other side, brands that are saying, oh, no, I'm leaving because there are no matches, there are no visibility. In my opinion, it's a big mistake. Athletes also, of course, and in athletes, it's really the human part of it that is behind it. I don't see it as an image. In most cases, I don't see it as an image with an image purpose. I think it's really helping. But of course, at the end, this will pass. Things will return to the possible normality. And those who, of course, who are more exposed right now and that will be more remembered and connected to this stage, of course, will have much more possibilities to have a bigger performance in terms of marketing visibility and what is their brand for. So I think all the parts here have relevant roles: fans, brands, clubs, leagues, athletes, all of them. But at the end, it's the human part of it that is behind. But of course, the ones that don't do it right now will suffer a little bit afterwards.
Yeah. What people, teams, or clubs or leagues do right now will be reminded for a long time. So if they can, whatever they can help or support in some way everyone else that are part of this sports industry. Okay, Nuno, thanks for your time. Please make your final statement and appreciate your kindness.
No, thank you very much, Luis. So I really want to thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the people that were watching. Help your clubs or your brands or your sports organizations or you by yourself as fan. Take care of yourself and the others that are next to you, and stay safe. And we'll see you around.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And tomorrow I talk to Javad from France. So thank you, Nuno.
Very good.
Have a great time.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.